Welcome back then everybody, and welcome to my second video and the top 3 best health benefits from cold water immersion. So I'm just going to rattle off my top 3 benefits, and in the next video it's going to be all about the potential side effects and negative consequences of cold water immersion. So without further ado, let's get into it and go into my number 1 benefit for cold water immersion. And this is that it improves your immune system response, and this is done in a variety of ways. However, my top 2 favourites are that number 1 is that it increases your body's release of anti-inflammatory chemicals in your body, and the favourite one for this is norepinephrine. And some studies have actually found with cold water immersion that it can increase your body's release of this from 200 to 300 and some even 500%. And this is very good because anti-inflammatory means it basically fights your body's response to diseases and everything else. And the other kind of reason for immune response is that it's actually a benefit from after you get out of the water immersion, and that is because as your body then tries to warm itself, side effects of that is that it causes a release of white blood cells. And now white blood cells, they are also your body's kind of fighting deterrent system for diseases and any kind of foreign substances in your body, such as anything that will cause any respiratory tract infections, any colds, coughs, sneezes, diseases, everything else. So that is my number 1 response and reason for cold water immersion, and that is to increase your immunity. And let's get into number 2. So top benefit number 2 then, and that is that it can elevate your mood and have effects with anxiety, stress, and even a bit of a tenuous link with depression. So the reason why cold water immersion can help with kind of stress and anxiety is that it's putting you in a stressful situation anyway, like jumping into water. And when you're in there for about, some of the protocols say about 10 minutes, when you're in there for that amount of time, it helps you kind of deal with, it's almost like a controlled version of stress, whereas instead of getting angry at someone who's cut you up on the road or getting stressed about a presentation that you've got to do, it's a little kind of 10 minutes window that you can do in the morning where you get your breathing under control, and it has the whole host of effects to do with things that suit your heart rate, as cold water immersion has been found by a few studies to decrease your heart rate by between about 15 to 20%. Because obviously with heart rate, what happens when you get stressed is that your heart rate and breathing goes up. So when you jump in a cold pool or do a cold plunge, immediately your heart rate does go up as long as you're breathing, but as you are in there for 5 to 10 minutes, you learn to get your breathing under control and slows your breathing down, which in turn slows your heart rate down, which then obviously reduces the amount of stress. So the reason why this all helps is that over time with cold water immersion especially, is that this repeated kind of showing your body off to these extreme temperatures helps you deal with it in a more controlled manner. So it means then when you actually do go out and possibly get stressed with work or with whatever you're doing, is that your body, you can learn almost to cope with it and calm yourself down without kind of feeding into your stress and then going off at the deep end. So that is my number 2 favourite benefit, how it can help with your mood, anxiety, and like I said, some studies actually have shown that it's a bit of a link to depression, but I don't want to go into that too much in this video because it's really kind of only kind of tip of the iceberg research. So that's number 2. Let's get on to my 3rd and final benefit of cold water immersion. So then my 3rd and final, and probably one of my most favourite benefits for cold water immersion, and that is to do with neuroplasticity and its effects it can have to stop cognitive decline. So this includes diseases such as dementia. So with cold water immersion, again, we have something norepinephrine that pops up again, but I'm going to go on first about this other molecule called RBM3. So this is a cold shock protein that has been found in 2015 to be released from cold water immersion, and it basically helps regenerate and even make more synapse connections. So synapse connections are basically when someone says cognitive decline or brain degeneration, this is actually down to a structural level of what's happening, where your synapses, which are basically making neurons and connections, and basically what forms our memories, and how we hopefully will memorize this video, it basically helps rebuild these connections, this RBMP3 molecule. So this is obviously very key for obviously keeping our brains active, healthy, and stops that cognitive decline, which is things such as dementia and other issues, which obviously at the moment scientists don't really have much of an answer for, so this could be a very key kind of avenue to go down. And the other reason is that, again, norepinephrine pops up again. I think this has been in all three of my kind of key benefits, and this is because it helps your synapse, basically plasticity, so how it can kind of mold and change and form new connections, and so it's basically a very good hormone and transmitter to have in our back pocket. So there we go, that's my quick breakdown of my top 3 benefits of cold water immersion. You'll join me in my next video, and that is potential pitfalls of cold water immersion, and there will also be my little vlog of daily cold showers and even cold plunges. So look forward to seeing you all in the next video.